All right, let's talk LSU Tigers. Look, now that the 2024 recruiting cycle is behind us, we are now focused, rightly so, on spring football and, of course, the training camp and summer practice that'll follow. Football is still a little ways away, but we're getting a little bit closer. And to that end, the LSU Tigers, they've got a breakout candidate at a key position that's looking to make a huge statement first in spring, then come the regular season time. Let's get into this report, and then we'll talk about it more on the other side. This is according to NBC Sports and involves young playmaker Whit Weeks. All right, Weeks became a fan favorite with his long locks and contagious smile as he navigated through his freshman year in Baton Rouge. But after busting on the scene and then disappearing for a few games, Weeks worked his way back in the bowl game win over Wisconsin. So, what can 2024 bring? Most people feel comfortable slotting in Greg Penn III at one linebacker ass position, but the other side is up for grabs. While Weeks may have burst on the scene in year one with his combination of athleticism and knack for contact, becoming more technically sound is going to be something that Blake Baker will want to strengthen in Weeks in order to fully unlock his ability. The physical tools are there, but in order to become an every down defender in this conference, the mental side has to follow, obviously. If we can grasp the attacking style of defense that Baker likes to play with and understand the ins and outs of his position, he could be poised for a big season for the Tigers. I think Weeks definitely has all the potential to be a big time playmaker. I think a new DC is perfect for him. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are, but first, LSU fans in the comment section below, as we get ready for spring ball, as we get ready for summer practice, there's going to be a lot of breakout candidates emerge. Give us the one guy you think everybody's sleeping on right now that has a chance to really emerge for the LSU Tigers going forward. Is it Weeks? Is it somebody else? Give us your breakout candidate in the comment section below. But Miles, give me your thoughts on this report and what it means for LSU going forward.
Yeah, Nick, I think this is big for LSU. I think this is big for Weeks. Just a great opportunity. Like it said, early on last season, he burst onto the scene, kind of fell off for a while, and then found himself again in the bowl game against Wisconsin. I think that was crucial for them going forward. But now with the addition of Baker, I think Baker coming back, he used to coach at LSU as well, and he was the linebackers coach, which is why I think this is so key. Baker's defense is going to key on important linebackers. And when was LSU at their best? When they had a strong linebacking core, especially a guy like Patrick Queen, that 2019 national championship team, one of the best teams probably ever in college football. So having strong linebackers really is a key to this new LSU defense. And I think Whit Weeks is going to be, really crucial part of it if he can get it together, which I think he can. I think this is a great guy to keep our eye on through training camp. And I don't want LSU fans to be confused. Yes, there is another Weeks on the roster, and yes, they are related. His older brother, West Weeks, is also a linebacker, transferred from Virginia from a few years ago. So this is going to be really interesting to see. Maybe they possibly get on the field at the same time. Not so much. West isn't quite as good as Whit. Whit is much, much better of a player. So I think it's very interesting aspect there as well. But I think Coach Baker coming in from Missouri, they obviously had a really great defense last year as well. Just bringing that into the fold, getting everything underway, and having a potential guy coming up and being able to mold him into the next great LSU linebacker. I think this is a really big opportunity. I think Weeks understands it. I think Baker understands it. And I think we're going to really see something special down the stretch as we see him grow and develop in year two at LSU.
Well, especially considering that LSU has just that incredible playmaker in Perkins, right? In Harold Perkins Jr., who of course he started as a pass rusher, played more linebacker last season with a lot of bit of mixed results, right? Better at times, worse at times, really struggled against Florida State. But you kind of need a good group around Harold Perkins because I look at Harold Perkins Jr., he's a guy that's just a playmaker, right? You just want to throw him on the football field and watch him just destroy offenses. But in order to do that, you need to surround him with other athletes who are fundamentally sound, who can execute in their positions. And I think Weeks can be one of those guys. I think it's going to be critical for him. Penn was mentioned in the article as well as another guy as well, that guys in the front seven and guys, frankly, in the back end as well for LSU are going to have to be really solid, fundamentally sound, because I really think this defense is going to just be a solid, steady, work hard, be physical, play tough, and let Perkins Jr. just destroy opposing offenses as their big time playmaker. And I think that can be the recipe for success. Fortunately for LSU, Weeks is the kind of guy that has both the flashes of athleticism. If he cleans up his fundamentals, he can be kind of a little bit of both. He could be a big time playmaker as well, and also clean up the fundamental stuff that allows Harold Perkins to do his thing. So Weeks has a chance to kind of fill that kind of middle role for LSU, which I think will be really important for them going forward. Because look, this conference, the SEC, I mean, it doesn't need to be said, but it's absolutely stacked with offensive talent. As LSU fans, you guys very well know, sometimes you can have the best quarterback in the country, and you're not going to win as many football games as you normally would in years past, just because of how incredibly deep this conference has become, especially throwing Texas and Oklahoma, right? This is just a stacked offensive group. You need defensive playmakers. Fortunately, it looks like LSU has some homegrown talent that's ready to step up. I'm really excited what Weeks does starting in spring ball and then going forward.
Yeah, and if we look back at some of Baker's key defenses, we look back at the Miami years. That was a really great defense when he was coaching at Miami. They had one of the top 10 defenses in the country, especially that rush defense was very, very good. We go back further than that. At Louisiana Tech, when he was coaching there, he was really able to utilize key playmakers. Everyone knows Sack Daddy Jalen Ferguson used to go to Louisiana Tech as well. He racked up a ton of sacks there, getting the record for most sacks in the NCAA at that time as well. Very, very good player. Ended up getting drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the third round. Unfortunately, has passed since then. But Jalen Ferguson, key playmaker, and I think Baker used him to his fullest potential. So we have, again, evidence. Baker able to use big-time playmakers and highlight their best aspects. So I feel like he's going to come in here, like you said, with Perkins, with Weeks, highlight both of their, their best attributes and highlight them in this defense and use them to the best of their ability.